there were two great pluses about it. Well, several. One was we had this kitchen garden, so we grew a lot of stuff. The other was that the house, the college house butler, a chap called John Fennell, he had come to Whitbourne with us, and more importantly, so had his wife. And his wife was a professional cook who used, before the war, to go and to people's private houses and cook dinner for dinner parties. So she was a great cook. And of course, in the country, there was a thriving black market, and nobody was going to ignore that. So we grew a lot of our own produce. We got rather more than normal rations. And it was cooked by Mrs. Fennell. So actually, in some ways, we ate much better than we did at home, which was remarkable, really, in the circumstances. But no, it was an experience.
What do you remember about the food? What were your favourites?
Well, the one thing you couldn't do anything about was meat. And that was always in short supply, except possibly for chicken, or a certain amount of chicken. But no, I think one ate enormous quantities of vegetables, which is, fine. I mean, you must survive on that. I mean, nobody was malnourished. I mean, indeed, we were much better off than most of the population. And one of the great things, it's probably the right time to mention it, if you went on these scout camps working for the Forestry Commission, for the duration, you were an agricultural worker for rationing purposes, which meant you got double food rations, which was extremely important. Extremely important. The other thing about working for the Forestry Commission is we actually got paid, but we got paid on a piecework basis. And essentially what we were doing was we were cutting down mature conifers and stripping off all the branches and then cutting them to the exact length that was required for them to be wooden pit props in the mines. Because most of the pit props in those days were wooden, not steel, as they are now. And you can imagine it's, cutting down a tree, stripping the branches off, then cutting it into the right length for the crosscut saw. Takes a little time. And we actually got paid, well, what was then a farthing, which is 1/4 of an old penny. So it's about 1/10 of a new penny for each pit prop. Not exactly over generous, but still, it was better than nothing. And it's the first money I ever really earned. Now we used to pool it and split it up at the end of the camp, so everybody got the same share. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.